Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my first Bendy and the Ink Machine theory. Now before we get into this, I will explain I do have a cold, so I sound quite nasally, so I apologise for that. And I have just got done playing on my chapter 3 of the game, and I must say I was impressed with the game. But if there was one thing I was to mention about the whole chapter, it was just a bit tedious. But with that being said, video should be out soon, and it was pretty good, and the ending was very surprising. This is your official spoiler warning, so if anyone hasn't played it, yeah, don't go any further in this video or it will be spoiled. Spoiler warning. But anyway, let's get straight into the theory. So, in this chapter, it started where you wake up and you're in the safe house of Boris's and you're his friend initially. Whereas the last chapter, we know when he approached us, it was a bit of a confusion. No one really anticipated the sense of doom, and we didn't sense any danger from Boris originally. But to me, I believe that there must have been a great deal of time passed between the end of chapter 2 and the start of chapter 3, as it seems like Henry and Boris are the best of buds, or so you'd think. I mean, they both play games and they're hiding in the safe house together and they're doing the washing, Henry's cooking, and even when you leave the safe house, Boris comes and helps you. Like he believes that you're going to escape, so he wants to follow you to follow the escape. We see in the first chapter Boris strapped up, and he looks pretty dead to say the least. I mean, the X on the eyes can confirm this. So when he does emerge at the end of chapter 2, it is quite a mind boggle. And it also brings up the question, is this particular Boris an original? Or are there many more? Or are they constantly being pumped out by the ink machine? If so, who's doing it and why? And to answer that short little question, I believe it's Alice. But let's get onto that in another video. Anyway, I digress, so back to the point. The fact that Boris is in a safe house, to me, notifies that he's aware of danger. And the fact that time has been spent there as he's set up shop, basically. So he knows that someone's out there, he knows that something's out there. But did Boris know about how dangerous Alice is? What makes me think he has no idea how evil Alice is working is he's just as willing as Henry to go meet Alice. And when he first encounters his first dead Boris, he seems to be puzzled and confused. I mean, was he shocked, confused, scared? Probably all three. But there is something to note here. If this Boris is the one scaring us with the cutout Bendy in chapter 1, then this would mean he would have already seen a dead Boris at the start. But then this also brings up a point. Does he know that evil Bendy is harvesting Boris? And did he not know that Alice was doing the same, potentially? Or, since we have no proof that Bendy is actually doing this, was it Alice all along? And then after this, after we meet Alice and all the lovely corpses lying everywhere, Boris from this point after just stays in the elevator. But what's also interesting to note is Boris is the only one so far helping you. And it seems that Boris can actually detect when Bend is going to be around. For example, in my own gameplay, I would be roaming around certain levels. And when I got to some specific levels, Boris would use a scared animation in the elevator, detecting when Bendy was around. So we know that Boris is trying to help us out by showing some signals, seeing as he actually can't talk. See, now I don't think Alice has only betrayed Henry. I think it was all a trick to lure Boris out, especially if the presence of Henry has been protecting Boris all along. I think all this time Alice may have been watching Boris and waiting while Boris proves that he is the best clone of Boris. But the real question here is Alice really going to kill him, or are we going to save him? At the end of the chapter you'll see a picture of where Boris is strapped up and his eyes aren't X'd out like the other dead Boris's, which indicates obviously he's alive. So she hasn't killed him just yet. Is this a hint in chapter 4 that we may have to save him? Or is she that messed up that she's going to do it when he's alive, as we know she is capable of doing it? Or will she use us to make more little errands in exchange for Boris's life? Will we be working to another plot that she's aiming for? As we know that Joey, Susie and Alison have some history that still needs to be touched up on, because Alice was set to replace Susie. Is there a whole new story or scenario that's going on behind the scenes with Susie and Joey? But anyway, with this being said, is this going to lead to chapter 4 being another errand boy scenario again? If so, I believe Boris will live a little longer, but by the end of the chapter he might be killed by Bendy, so that Alice can't be complete, which will make everyone angry. Yay. But anyway guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want me to touch upon anything else, I will be doing some more Bendy theories soon. And remember guys and gals, if you do agree with some of the bits I've said, or like the video in general, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next theory. Bye!